This week we've got fresh announcements from Diamond Audio with a brand new source unit for Harley-Davidson, WAVTECH with a revolutionary slim woofer design, MTX with a refreshed amplifier lineup, THINKWARE with an interesting collaboration with My Car 2, and QUART with new source unit solutions for RVs. This is CMA Live, brought to you by SiriusXM and sponsored by 5-Axis Innovation. And it starts now. Hot off the trail of releasing their very popular multimedia source unit for Harley-Davidson radios for 14 to 23, they're at it again. Diamond Audio this week in Sturgis has unveiled a brand new application. It is the MSHD 9813RG and SG. And I guess you can figure out what that means, but first we're going to go to Diamond Audio's John Catalano, who just got back from Sturgis. John, what is the big announcement?
Hey, Ben. We're excited to be back from Sturgis, amazing event. And we were able to announce that we released our new applications for 98 to 13 Road Glide and Street Glide.
Well, obviously, John, the success of the first unit that has released has been nothing short of infectious. Great to see that you've had a chance to share this new model ahead of time, announcement time, with the folks at Sturgis. I'm hoping you have one to show us, and can you give us a little bit more, maybe details on the physicality and some of the main features?
This is the Road Glide model. Got huge heat sink. Our 6 independent RCA outputs. Sirius XM ready. Steering wheel or handlebar controls. A nice 7-inch touchscreen. Completely waterproof. IPX7 rated. Touchscreen is glove friendly. Super bright 1000 nit display. And I have the Street Glide one powered up so we can show you some of the features. So here we have the Street Glide version. As you can see, the display is still 7 inches, but the housing is different because of the application, so it fits in the factory location. In the Street Glide, the neutral, high beams, oil pressure, and turn signals is obstructed for us to add the 7-inch screen. So we've gone ahead and duplicated those those indicators on the top here. So those will light up. There's a plug on the back of the radio that plugs into the factory plug, and then you'll be able to get those without obstruction in the motorcycle. Probably the most exciting feature for most people is this is wireless Android Auto and CarPlay. So, you can put your phone in a charger and leave it in the compartment, and you can just do everything right from the face of the radio. We're using the fastest processor that's available currently. So this is going to work as fast or faster than your phone does. It's very, very snappy. You've got Bluetooth, you've got AM/FM weather band. We can go to here. So AM/FM weather band for your sources. You've got Sirius XM. If you have Sirius XM, that would populate here. If it's connected, you can turn that on and off in the menus. Like I said, CarPlay, Android Auto. It's got a backup camera. If you have a trike and you have reverse, you can add the backup camera. Or if you want to just add a front camera or rear camera, and you can manually turn that on while you're riding so you can see what's going on behind you. And then really the creme of the reason that this radio is so amazing is it's 10 channels, and it comes with a built-in DSP. So you have 6 EQs. So we have what we call compensation EQs here, one for each pair of channels. Again, it's 10 channels. So you can adjust for any anomalies here in the compensation EQs for each pair of channels. So we can adjust these however we need, boost, cut, whatever. And I'm going to reset these. And then we have our built-in crossovers for each pair of channels. So high pass, low pass, band pass. You can adjust your your frequency and then your slope, frequency and slope for whatever you need for the depending on what speakers you're hooking up to it. You have your fader and balance here. Here, so again, this is 10 channels and they're all independent of each other. But for some reason, you need to have them linked like a car radio would have. You can link those here in this dialog box here, and then your front powered outputs would be linked to the first 4 RCA outputs. But we made this for a motorcycle, and typically you don't need fader, so that is default off. And then finally, we have that sixth EQ. This is what we call the user EQ or the global EQ. So this EQ affects all channels together. So this would be the one that you would do on your daily use when you want to just change it depending on the music that you're listening to. Or you can adjust it manually yourself. You can see how fast this responds. It's lightning fast. And then once you set one, you can save it. All you have to do is just put it on the user you want it to be, and then you can go back to the one that you had. And we'll reset these. And then, of course, it's not a DSP unless you have time delay. So you can adjust every speaker independently with your time delay in this interface here. So you can make sure that that sound reaches you at the opportune time, and also that there's no loss of sound because of cancellations. So we're able to get more output out of the system without having to overdrive things by reducing any cancellations. We're going to maximize your sound quality by utilizing the DSP time delay. And then we can go back home again. Bluetooth music, it plays media, USB stick, so you can put all your music on a media player. You can watch videos if you'd like, as long as the bike is not moving. And
Wow, John, I gotta say, pretty much Diamond has thought of everything. We've covered some of the user interface and mostly on the input stage of things and how you can set up the DSP, which of course is going to be clutch. What about the output stage performance?
thanks for asking. What we've done with this radio is, and our other radio as well, is very unique. Is we've made it so we know on a motorcycle a lot of times they're going to be playing it at full volume. So we wanted to make sure that there was no distortion at full volume. So we've trademarked it. It's called clip free, and that means all of the outputs, the RCAs are 5 volt, and the power on the 4 powered outputs are 50 by 4 at 2 ohms or 25 by 4 at 2 or at 4 ohms. And those also can be reconfigured to RCA outputs. So you could actually do full 10 channel DSP RCA outputs from the head unit. But back to the outputs. So again, everything at full volume, no clipping. And then secondly, we've added, because of all the new phones, they don't work very well with audio output. So this is the normal levels on anybody else's radio. This is where this would be your maximum. What we've done is we've added a line driver to this. So you pair your phone, and then you're going to measure the outputs of the RCAs, and you're going to play a test tone, and you're going to put that radio all the way up, and then you're just going to adjust your phone with this level here till you hit 5 volts. And then you know you will get perfect audio, clip free out of this radio, regardless of your device.
So if you're just tuning in, we're talking about the brand new, never before seen Diamond Audio new media player for both Street Glide and Road Glide 98 to 13. John just walked through all of the features, or at least the basic features. A quick question for you, because I know people are going to ask, are there any differences between this new model and the first model that came out for the 14 and up from a feature set standpoint?
Well, with the popularity of the 14 and up, everyone was asking when we were going to do the 98 to 13s. So what we did is we just moved that hardware into a different chassis. They're identical as far as feature sets, with the exception of this unit doesn't have a Maestro interface because it's not required on these older bikes. So you get all the features of the 98 to, or I'm sorry, the 14 and up, but none of the Maestro interface. And that's great because now the retail is only $10.99 because it doesn't have that extra interface. So you get a great value for a 10-channel radio with all these features.
Well, John, there's only one question left to ask is when is this available? I know you guys were showing it at Sturgis, but for everybody tuning in, when is this unit available and ready to ship?
Well, I'm happy to say they're available now. The launch was at Sturgis, and they're in stock and ready to rock. So head on over to diamondaudio.com and pick one up for yourself.
Hi, Jody from 5Axis here. Just want to bring everybody up to speed with what we do and how we do it. We're a display company. We do a lot of custom graphics. Obviously, we do custom audio boards. We do RGB lighting. We do graphical work up top. We also do all the different custom amp mounts. So for all your store needs, we do front counters, we do home audio sections, we do lighting, everything that you're looking for, give us a call. Again, it's 5Axis, 414-326-7162.
Now, shallow subwoofers have certainly been a mainstay in car audio, but the team at WAVTECH has totally revolutionized the design and concept about the thin subwoofer. Joining us now is Jason Kemmerer of WAVTECH, their Chief Technical Officer, to tell us a little bit more. Now, Jay, we got a glimpse of this subwoofer back at K-Fest in Vegas, but I got to tell you, what I seen absolutely blew my mind. Tell us right now, what is this amazing new, invention that you have in a thin subwoofer?
Yeah, Ben, we're super excited about this new subwoofer. It's actually been a long time coming. I came up with this concept over 2.5 years ago, and like anything else that we do, it's something that fits a specific need in the market where there wasn't an existing product solution or there just wasn't a good one. And in the case of thin subwoofers, they've all had some form of compromise. You would never have purchased one of those other thin subwoofers and used it in a regular subwoofer application that didn't need to be thin. But we've broken that paradigm now. We've established a new one, which is ultimate high performance, also in a thin package. So it's a subwoofer that can work for any situation, not just ones that require a thin subwoofer to perform. Now, a few things that make it really unique. One is we've gone completely the opposite direction of what most traditional thin subs have done, where they tend to have to have a smaller motor and the spiders on the outside. We've completely inverted that. The spiders are actually on the inside of the motor structure. So instead of having to compromise on motor power, the only limit to the size of the motor we can have is if it fits into the frame. So we can have a really massive motor structure on there, and along with a huge 5-inch voice coil that gives us really incredible power handling, but also gives us the clearance inside for a really stable structure that allows over 2 inches of peak-to-peak excursion with 20 millimeters of linear X-Max. So you can compare that to any high-performance sub on the market, and it outperforms the vast majority of them at any price. But it's only 3 inches deep. So think about that. Only 3 inches deep, but has over 2 inches of peak-to-peak excursion. That's pretty incredible. And so that's why it's a patent-pending design. There's a lot that went into it. Initially, I didn't know if it was even going to work when I came up with this concept, and it took a long time. It took a lot of iterations, a lot of finite element analysis, simulations, prototyping. I've done a lot of subwoofers in my career, and this one was definitely one of the most difficult, but also the most incredible. I put it right up there with some of the best that I've ever done, and I've done a lot of really great subs. So this is something that we're really, really proud of, and we think it's going to be a shift in the market, because there really hasn't been a thin subwoofer with high performance like this that can also go in a really, really small box. A lot of the thin subs need a relatively large box, or they have a fairly high Q, so they can only perform in sealed. Well, ours can go in a super small box, actually as low as 0.4 cubic feet sealed, because of the really low Q and the strong motor and the relatively heavy moving mass. But also they can work very well in small ported, which is pretty unique. So you have the huge advantage of a very thin subwoofer, on top of the whole point of it is to have a very small enclosure as well without compromising on performance. And the efficiency is really high. So you really, 500 watts is a great amount of power on it. But the power handling is actually a conservative 750 watts RMS. With a peak over 2250, but that's, like I said, that's conservative. So You can throw a lot of power at it, it'll take it, but it's actually really efficient. We've had demo systems working with as little as 300 watts on them, 250 watts actually. And the show car that we had at Knowledge Fest actually had a 500 on it, and people couldn't believe the amount of output, not just the amount of output, but the sound quality, the low bass performance, the impact that it has in such a small enclosure. That was a 0.6 cubic foot box that was in our demo car.
Jay, it's nothing short of impressive, the innovation that has gone onto the subwoofer. When you see it, it looks completely different from anything else that you've seen. I love that you've pointed out a couple of the challenges or obstacles that some of the other shallow subwoofers have not quite met yet. But with this new ingenious design, I think it's going to really make people think about this differently. Now, this wouldn't be complete if we didn't have a little bit of show and tell. So, Jay, why don't you take one out and kind of point out to us some of these key features that you were speaking to?
All right, Ben. Well, let's see if we can see this. This is rather heavy. It weighs about 20 pounds. And the reason here, let me try to support this. The reason it's so heavy is because this entire area here is the motor structure all the way out to the edge of the frame. And the voice coil is a huge 5-inch voice coil in the motor here. And you can see what I was talking about, which just makes this totally different than any other loudspeaker design before, is that the spiders, there's actually 2 spiders in here, mirrored spiders, that connect to a force transfer assembly on the inside, which is maybe a little difficult to see, but there's a cone support, a force transfer assembly that's reinforced that connects that voice coil to the whole cone structure through this center point. And that's what I was saying about, you know, some of the previous shallow designs is they achieved the shallowness by having a smaller motor and just a ribbon of a spider along the outside. But those are inherently, well, there's 2 things. One, they're not as stable because the spider is so close in line with where the surround is, so they have a tendency to rock. But also, you know, you have a certain maximum size motor that you can have. Well, the motor here is obviously really big, but also the spiders are in the very center on the axis of the whole moving assembly. So it's inherently more stable than any other design that's been done before. And that's one of the reasons why we're able to get such a huge mechanical stroke out of it, as well as the linear X max and the power handling because of the really, really large voice coil and some ventilation that's going on inside as well.
That is a crazy design, Jay, especially with those dual spiders on the inside, making that voice coil so huge. Of course, I'm going to ask you, I hope you have a little bit more muscle. Let's take a look at the front as well as the, obviously the cone, the surround, and all that goodness.
So from the front view of the ThinPro 12, you can notice a few things that are really different as well. The cone itself is actually a composite honeycomb Nomex and glass fiber structure that's really, really lightweight, but also super rigid. So it can withstand that massive amount of pressure in those small boxes with that huge excursion that it has. On top of that, it's actually a standard 12-inch cutout, which is fairly unique in the shallow subwoofer arena. It's a 11 1/8 standard 12-inch cutout, so this can go in prefab boxes or in any standard 12-inch application that you have. But in order to maximize the cone area, so we're getting the most air, we're moving the most air possible with a larger cone area, we're using a unique custom double roll surround that takes up a lot less space than those huge half rolls do, but it's also much more linear and it's also much more stable. So it gives us that control over that really long excursion range without taking up a lot of space. So more SPL and better sound quality. So another cool feature is the trim ring. So the trim ring actually hides all the screws, which gives it a really clean look. But you can also reverse mount the subwoofer, unlike most other subs out there, even traditional subs. It has a dual function gasket, so standard mount or reverse mount. If you want to show off, you know, the really cool looking massive motor structure on the back, it can seal against the front in a reverse mount.
So if you're just tuning in, WAVTECH has announced a brand new revolutionary 12-inch thin subwoofer called the ThinPro 12. Jason, all that's left to understand, what are we looking at as far as retail map pricing, and when is this available?
So there's 2 models. There's a 4 ohm and a 2 ohm of the ThinPro 12, and both of those are $699 retail, and they're in production now. So they'll be shipping in-house. They'll be in-house and shipping in September. And you can go to our website and find out more. That's wavetech-usa.com. And we've got a lot of information up there. The owner's manual's up, so you can check out the specs and start thinking about the boxes you want to make for these really unique subs.
Hi, Paul Truman here with SiriusXM. We reached out to some of our partners in the industry, and here's what they had to say.
I can't say more or enough about just what it means to have our unit working with SiriusXM. It's like we're there now.
The SiriusXM service is something consumers want, right? So it's Paul.
That allows a consumer to listen to either podcasts, entertainment, sports, all at their fingertips. It's all about engagement, and that's what SiriusXM provides.
SiriusXM is a huge component in a vehicle nowadays. Consumers expect that technology to be available both in our OEM system as well as the aftermarket upgrades that they're applying to their vehicle.
Alpine and SiriusXM, through our electronics, are able to offer the consumer on the aftermarket side SiriusXM 360L, which is an expanded platform for SiriusXM. And it's really been a beneficial relationship for us with SiriusXM.
As a dealer, just remember, we don't compete with anybody else. We are absolutely one of the best profitability accessories you can add to any head unit that is SiriusXM ready.
Well, it looks like the iconic brand known as MTX is coming to the table with a brand new reimagined series, which is very popular in the Terminator series of amplifiers. We go now to Jay Pidlawan, who's going to tell us a little bit more about the all-new MTX Terminator amplifier. Jay, what can you tell us?
Hi, Ben. Yeah, great question. The Terminator amplifier line is a redesign from the ground up, with the Terminator name, 40-year history, strong history, proven greatness. And I know that the Terminator line has had a hiatus in the market, but we've redesigned them from the ground up. There's a lot of features and functions that we added to these new series with multiple platforms within the family.
All right, Jay, it is nice to see that there's been some new energy being brought back to such an iconic line that so many people, as an entry point has started with, especially when building car stereos over the last few decades. But let's talk about some of the cool new features that have gone into the new redesign of these Terminator amps.
Yeah, some of the new things when designing this new Terminator line is one of the biggest features is the footprint of the amplifier. We designed a much smaller, compact chassis with you, the installer, in mind to help with the woes of trying to find places to fit an amplifier. In comparison, older amplifiers were much bigger. Now we've compacted the size. It's easier to install these various amplifiers. Another thing that we designed from the ground up is a new advanced circuit protection. Each amplifier will have advanced circuit protection for over voltage, even under voltage, thermal protection, and power shortages. And all the amplifiers will have a power protect light to let you, the user, know that it senses an issue and you want to investigate why. Now, we eliminated the fuse on the outside of all of the chassis, but on top of the advanced circuit protection, we decided to have an internal fuse that is easily accessible by removing the bottom plate where the fuse is located, and all of the amplifiers will have that as well.
Well, first of all, Jay, I want to comment on the nice, elegant aesthetic of that new amplifier chassis design. Yes, we recognize the smaller footprint. I think that's going to help out a lot in installs and just be able to put more into tiny places. But just the overall aesthetic and that new logo, I have to comment on that as well. Okay, so we're talking about a new line. Let's go ahead and break out the different models that are available with the new Terminator line of amps.
Yes, our TN series Terminator lineup will consist of 6 amplifiers, 2 full range amplifiers, 3 mono amplifiers, and get this, we decided to add a compact 5-channel amplifier in the lineup. Now, starting with the full range amplifiers, what you saw earlier is our TN 150.2. Now, this amplifier will do 50 watts rated at 4 ohm, and it'll do 75 watts at 2 ohm 2-channel. Now, this amp is bridgeable for 150 watts at 4 ohm. Now, The bigger amplifier of this one is our TN 300.4, and it will do for all 4 channels 50 watts at 4 ohm, 75 watts at 2 ohm, and both channels are bridgeable. So channels 1 and 2 are bridgeable, and 3 and 4 are bridgeable for 150 watts at 4 ohm. Now, moving on the mono side of it, we will start off with our TN 250.1, and that amplifier will do 250 at 150 at 4 ohm and 250 at 2 ohm. The bigger amplifier next to that is our TN 500.1. That one will do 300 at 4 ohm and 500 at 2 ohm load. Now, the biggest mono that we have in our lineup is going to be our TN 1000.1, and this amplifier will do 400 watts at 4 ohm, 700 watts at 2 ohm, and it'll do 1000 watts at a 1 ohm load. Now, you will keep in mind that the TN 1001 is the only amplifier in the lineup that is 1 ohm stable. And lastly, we have our TN 800.5 5-channel amplifier. And on the full range side at 4 ohm, it will be 50 watts by 4 channel. And on the mono side, it'll be 300 watts at 4 ohm. And on the full range side at 2 ohm, it'll be 75 watts. And on the mono side, it'll be 500 watts at 2 ohm. And yes, just like the other full range amplifiers, the 800.5 can be bridgeable for channels 1 and 2 at 150 at 4 ohm and 3 and 4 at 150 at 4 ohm. Now, all the mono amplifiers in this lineup will include our patented EBC bass control knob. And I know you're asking, and yes, the 800.5 5-channel amp will also include the bass control knob.
Jay, great job on breaking out all these new models of amplifiers and the new Terminator line of MTX amplifiers. My final question, of course, when are these going to be available and where should people go to get all the specs and info?
Yeah, great question, Ben. These amplifiers now are currently shipping in stock. You can find them on mtx.com or in our any one of our authorized distributors should be available as well, online or local. If you need help trying to find an authorized retailer distributor, check out our website. On the top right hand corner, there is a find a dealer option. You put your zip code in and it can take you to your local dealer as well.
CE Outlook is dedicated to keeping the car audio and electronics industry informed on the latest issues, trends, and product releases. New feature stories posted daily. Visit ceoutlook.com for the latest industry news. Our next story focuses on a release of a brand new partnership between dashcam manufacturer THINKWARE as well as Automobility and their My Car app. This is a partnership that's going to create a new type of functionality and integration between the application known as My Car and a dashcam. We go now to Billy Alexander from THINKWARE to tell us more.
Yeah, we're very excited to announce a very unique relationship with Automobility. Automobility has been emerging as a leader in the connected car security sector. So it only made sense as THINKWARE being a leader in dashcam to partner our hardware and expertise in dashcams with the solution that Automobility is offering for their My Car app.
All right, Billy, you have my interest piqued. I'm thinking about the type of collaboration we're thinking about. I have to think this is technology based, but instead of guessing, we're going to bring in a specialist. And of course, we go now to Phil Cameron of Automobility. Phil, can you give us a little bit more of a breakdown as to what exactly this new technology is going to provide customers?
Well, I have to say that we are very excited as well at Automobility about this new partnership, which is going to make a lot of people very happy. So if you're not familiar, we make a product called My Car 2. My Car 2 is a telematics device that will allow you to control your remote start system through an application on your phone. So basically like a universal remote. So it breaks the barrier of range. You can be anywhere as long as you have cellular coverage and you can control your car. So then this partnership is going to bring it to a next level, meaning that your dash cam is already set up to record events, right? If you're in parking mode and somebody hits your car, it's going to save the video 10 seconds before the event, 10 seconds after the event. If you're driving, the same thing, right? It's already set up to record those events and store them within the camera itself. With this new partnership, when you bundle the THINKWARE and the My Car 2, you will be able to receive notification directly in your smartphone application that an event occurred, and you will be able to view the 20 seconds video directly from your smartphone, even if you're not close to your car. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, so for this solution to happen, we've selected one of our best-selling model, the F790 dashcam. And why the F790? Well, out of all the dashcams we have, it is one of the most slick-looking dashcam. It's very discreet and comes loaded with many features. So you'll have very good front 1080p and rear 1080p video recording using a Sony Starvis image sensor, and also comes with HDR capability. So for enhanced contrast during day or night. And then on top of that, it also comes included with Wi-Fi for direct connection when you're in the vehicle, if you want to pull videos directly from the dashcam. And of course, you have all of the amazing parking mode features that THINKWARE is known for. And on top of that, you also get some of the ADAS features, so lane collision, front collision warnings, and so on. So that's the main reason why we picked this model.
All right, so you heard from Phil about what the My Car app does. You've heard from Billy about why they chose the F790 dashcam from THINKWARE. Now, Phil, I'm going to leave it to you to show us exactly how this works.
Hey, thank you, Ben, and thank you for giving me a chance to show you how this is working. As you can see, I'm very excited about this category. So instead of me blabbing and trying to explain to you, how about I just show you? So I got my phone here, and I have a screen projection that you will see right here. So this is my phone. This is the My Car 2 application. And this is going to be a future release for the application. So it's not exactly like the one you can find and use right now. If you pay attention to the screen all the way at the bottom, you will see a new icon that's called camera. This is where you will see all the different notification if an event occur. So I'll give you an example. If I click on camera, it's going to load up all the different events that happened in the past. As you can see, there's a couple of them. For every event that we receive on the phone, this will generate us 2 videos, one for the front camera and one for the rear cameras. Those are 20-second videos. When they get pushed to your phone, they are in low resolution, but let me just show you what it looks like. And if you want a higher resolution, then you can use a THINKWARE application and connect directly in Wi-Fi and download that video. But for remote viewing, let's take a look. Let me pick the first video here. So this is me at my workspace. As you can see, it's not Santa, it's me. I just triggered an event by simply knocking on the camera. And what we see here is a video of 10 seconds before the event and 10 seconds after the event. So you will be able to view all the different events. They will be stored here. You will be able to browse the different dates at which events occur. And you can see front and rear camera as well in the application.
Honestly, Phil, thank you for the demo because it makes it so visual and easy to understand. I love the remote access at any given point when an event is triggered. One question though, what about live view? I know in other systems, maybe for home, this is a feature that people have become accustomed to. Have you guys incorporated that into the integration as well?
You know what, Ben? This is the #1 question that we get asked when we explain to people what we're doing with this. Short answer is yes, we thought about it, and yes, it will be incorporated. Unfortunately, I don't have it now in the app to show you, but it will be called Instant View, where you, when you open your app, you'll be able to request a 20-second video. So you'll push the button, request the video. The camera is going to record the video, make that 20 seconds video, then send it to the server. Then you'll be notified on your app, and you'll be able to click on it to download and view it. So there might be a little delay between the time you request, because it has to record the video and then push it to the server and send it to your phone, but you'll be able to view a live 20-second video of what happened. It's not live as in you're watching live what's going on, but you can request a instant view of your vehicle.
So there you have it, a new advanced feature, very unique in this space, between a collaboration of THINKWARE dash cams and Automobility's My Car 2 application, brilliantly demoed by Phil himself. I go back to you one more time, Billy. This is a big step for usability and feature set when it comes to what a dash cam can do. I'd like to hear your closing comments on this, and when is this feature and functionality available?
Yeah, just like Phil said, so this will take our dash cam really to the next level. So we're really excited to be able to bring additional features that we haven't really previously been able to do. So partnering with a technology leader when it comes to connected car security like Automobility is really a good step for the company overall. And I'm sure that it will bring a lot of benefits to our customers, and they'll realize that the dash cam is not only for driving, but it'll also be for parking and also receiving notification and videos, while the dash cam is integrated with the remote car security system. So all in all, I think it's a great idea. And as far as release date, we're still trying to finalize a couple minor details. So please stay tuned for updates, and please head over to our website at thinkwarestore.com. where you could sign up for newsletters and stay updated.
All right, Phil. So I've been trying to pay attention, and you know what's going through my mind? How awesome this is for compatibility. First of all, My Car 2 works with so many different brands of car starters. So from a dealer perspective, regardless of the car starter you're installing, you can add My Car 2. Now you can add this THINKWARE dash cam and improve that functionality even further. I think this is going to be a phenomenal hit from that perspective.
You got it right, Ben. One of the main goals with the My Car 2 project is to make it universal, more compatible with more different brands. Because we know that our retailers, the stores that sells their product, they don't only carry one brand of product. They carry multiple different brand of product. This is why the My Car 2 module is so handy, because it will work with the vast majority of digital system out there. Same thing as this partnership with THINKWARE. It's a universal camera. You can install it on pretty much any car. And because we are universal as well, you can use that relationship and add that feature to pretty much any car. And you don't need to commit to any specific brand. So you will be able to offer that feature to all of your customers if they have a digital remote start that's compatible with this, and you add your THINKWARE camera, you plug it in, and there you go. You have it directly in the app, no limitation, and the future is in your hands.
There's an incredibly strong network of distributors across Canada, and today we're here at CMA Expo to speak with them and get a sense of how they feel about their partnership with SiriusXM.
SiriusXM helps connect our industry because we are reproducing music. We are delivering content in a different way. We deliver hard parts to consumer. They deliver us the content on those hard parts.
It's a great add-on for the head unit sale, and it's pretty much just a natural addition now to offer it to the customer after they purchase a new head unit for their car.
As a distributor of SiriusXM, we all benefit. As partners, they offer and bring to the table the love of music. We're all in this industry because ultimately we love music.
They've been a great partner, and they've actually created a lot of excitement again in the industry.
It really brings the whole industry together, and it's music-based. It's great. You know, that's what we do. We sell music. They provide content. It's fabulous.
Well, it looks like there's there's another offering to the ever-expanding RV category. Yes, this is a category that we should be talking about more because there's so much potential, but the brand known as MB QUART is offering 2 new source units in this category. We go now to their creative and marketing director, Rob Anderson. Now, Rob, MB QUART has really expanded their lineup, especially when it comes to Jeeps and UTVs, but it's interesting to see there's some new energy being put into this RV market. So what is the new announcement?
Well, Ben, we're excited to announce that we have 2 brand new mechless source units. We have the RVM 35V1 and the RVM 10V1. These are amazing source units.
Well, I gotta say, I wasn't sure what to expect from a visual standpoint when you mentioned RV units. So obviously what we want to know is what makes them different and what makes them application specific when it comes to RV customers. So let's walk through real quick some of the universal feature sets that these new units will provide for users.
Of course. So some of the feature sets that are universal across both platforms are that one, they're mechless source units. So that has a thin mounting depth. So that makes it perfect for any type of RV application, specifically say for the 3.5-inch version. That's great for teardrop trailers, smaller kind of tow-behind trailers where space is super at a premium. But then the 10V1 also has that short depth. So even on the larger scale, RV units that this source unit will plug in and be able to install relatively easy. Things that are also universal across both platforms is AM/FM radio, Bluetooth audio, RCA inputs, RCA video inputs. One of the big feature sets is our HDMI throughput. This allows you to fully integrate with accessories like, maybe you're going to play little video games on the road, or if you have a DVD player or a satellite dish, you could actually plug in through the front of the unit and then go throughput through your whole stereo system. So sound goes on all of your speakers and it goes directly out to your TV monitor. A pretty cool feature set amongst a lot of things here.
Yeah, Rob, I gotta say the HDMI throughput will be a clutch feature when presenting this to potential RV customers, because let's face it, entertainment's gonna be a big deal for those long days and nights on the road. But what about control as far as for those bigger trailers that might want to have more than one zone? What type of solution do you have for them?
Well, absolutely. We definitely need to consider 2 zones for these units. This is both for the 35V1 and the 10V1. We have dual audio zone control. So that's perfect for if you want to control the outdoor area zone versus the recreational area like inside, or even for like the bigger toy haulers, we could have the rec room be the one zone and the toy hauler section where you're working on, say, your side-by-side dirt bike, that could have its own zone as well. So full customization on the dual zone on both units.
All right, Rob, so now that we've taken a look at the feature set, let's take a look at the physicality of both units, starting with the RVM 35V1, which is the smaller one.
Absolutely. So the 35V1 here is a nice small unit. It is 6 inches wide by about 4 inches tall with a awesome mounting depth here with that mechless design. It is perfect application for anything that is like a teardrop trailer or where space is at a premium. Perfect form factor. We also have all of our auxiliary inputs here on the front. So USB-A, 3.5 auxiliary in, headphone jack out, and our HDMI in for our throughput. On the back, we have our HDMI out for our TV monitor and all of our RCA preamp out. So, and the video in. So for camera, backup camera, all that's accommodated for, even on this 3.5 smaller unit.
Honestly, I think that's pretty feature-packed for an entry-level small unit with that type of screen and still be able to have the features that we've discussed. But let's be honest, if the guys are running a bigger RV, they want that bigger panel display, and we saw a quick glimpse of it. But let's take a deeper dive into the RVM 10V1, which of course features that giant 10-inch screen.
Well, the 10V1, like you said, has the amazing 10-inch LCD screen here. It has a lot of the same feature sets as the 35V1 because we didn't want to cheap out on both models here. So we have the HDMI throughput here, all of our auxiliary inputs here. We have full control of our radio from our HDMI standpoint with video out and in, camera, Bluetooth. All of our photos we can access through this amazing 10-inch auxiliary 10-inch LCD screen. The nice thing too is that we have some feature sets here too, like dimmings, right? So all right, we get it. At night, it's going to start getting bright. We could have that either controlled via a switch, or we have that in a menu where you could actually set that for a time setting. But the amazing thing about this product is that it's a slick design, something that integrate well in your RV vehicle, but then also give you full access to all of your audio, your video needs, your multimedia needs, and give you a sleek package with that amazing HDMI throughput as well. And same thing here with the back of the 10V1. We have that HDMI throughput in the back. All of our preamp out, antenna ins, and our video in and out as well. So this is a fully feature set packed unit. So definitely need to consider this for the next RV project and upgrade so we could take your audio in your RV unit to the next level.
All right, so there you have it, guys. MB QUART coming at you with 2 brand new units specifically for RV application in the RVM35V1 as well as the RVM10V1. Rob, last question. When are these available? What are the price points and where can people get more information?
Well, lucky enough for everyone, Ben, these are available now and ready to ship with the 35V1, the 3.5-inch screens starting at $180 USD, and then the 10V1, that 10-inch beautiful LCD screen model starting at $230 USD. So amazing units at a value price point. These, I think, are going to start making waves in the RV market for sure. For more info on this product, please visit mbquart.com. You can learn everything from feature sets to how to set up the HDMI throughput, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care.
And that's a wrap on this edition of CMA Live, presented by SiriusXM and sponsored by 5-Axis Innovations. Make sure to check out all our videos at cmanetworks.com. I'm your host, Ben Wu. We'll see you next Saturday.
There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM with over 150 channels in your vehicle. Your Platinum Plan offer includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video on Demand. What you love is on now.